What's up, my dudes? Bet you didn't know that I was just like right there. Well, you probably did, so probably should pull the camera away a little bit because I have bags under my eyes because apparently I am going on vacation that I can't even afford, and so the bags were just like, hey, we're gonna show up. We're already packed and this fully ready to go through the TSA, and I'm just like, fuck you, bags. Dang it, now I'm gonna demonetize. Let's start this over again. Wait, what happened? I didn't mean to turn that around. Anyways, so today's gonna be a little story time. I was gonna talk about my sleepwalking experiences, like a few of the funny ones, because I recently fell off the toilet. I had slept walked to the bathroom and fell off the toilet and broke my pinky. So at the bottom, it bent back all the way because it got caught in the handle on the cabinet door. So, but we're not going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about something that happened to me. Okay, let me explain a little something here. I have, me and my husband have appointments that we go to at least once or twice a month, and we take a, our insurance pays for a transportation service called, I'm going to blast them, called MedRide. I already blasted them on Facebook and stuff, and you're going to understand why here in just a second. I've had problems with MedRide in the past. They're supposed to, my mom called for us a week in advance. And, oh yeah, my mom uses the service too. And mine and her go to the appointments like on the same day. And it's usually my husband does too. And we'll just all go together. So that way we can ride together. Well, it's one day. They did not call the day before like they were supposed to. Here lately, we've had this one particular driver taking us, and he's really great. I love him to death. He's the best driver they have. He is the most friendliest. He always picks us up. He's always on time. He usually doesn't have to make us wait too long or anything to pick us back up from the appointment. So anyways, but this time, nobody called. So I'm like, well, apparently, Joe, I'm just going to have different names, okay? Joe did not, isn't the one picking us up because he would have called. So anyways, I called my mom that night and I text her later that night. I'm like, have you gotten a phone call? And she's like, no. And I'm checking my phone. She's checking her phone. And no one has called.
So bad. I am so sorry.
And no one has called at this point. So I'm just like, all right. So I made other plans to get there. You know, my husband's like, we'll just take the car. Isn't my car, it is my, the lady I take care of down the road. She lets me keep the car. But this time I tried not to take it anywhere further than, you know, town. When it's going to be like an hour-long drive, I don't like doing that, you know, just in case something were to happen. I don't want to be held responsible, you know. So we try not to use it. But at this point, we're thinking, I'm trying to record here. I'm just kidding. Stupid birds. I love you. Be quiet. Do you want the cats to eat you for dinner? That's what I thought. It works every time. They're really smart. So anyways, don't sneeze. Anyways, so the next morning rolls around. I got up because I thought, well, I'll try to get ready and see if somebody shows up. But I really didn't think they were going to come. Well, then I get this phone call from a guy. Let's call him Steve. He says, I'll be there at like 10. And I'm just like, my appointment's at 11. And we still have to pick up my mom. That's going to make us late. And like, I can't reschedule these kind of appointments. And so I'm just like, well, I've already made other plans. So I'm just going to cancel because no one called me last night. So how was I to know when to be ready? Because apparently a female had been the one that was supposed to pick us up. But since she didn't get a hold of us because she didn't try, they my mom had called them that morning and was like, what's up? And the woman told her that the woman had called us numerous times. And my mom's like, no, we don't, they have the correct number, so what's up? So anyways, let's get back to the present. The guy was okay with me canceling. He was like, I understand. So I get off the phone with him. Not even a minute later, I get a phone call from a woman that works with dispatch. I don't even know her name, but let's just call her Jill so we can identify her somehow. Jill says, Amy, this is your third time canceling on us. So I suggest she starts like saying something, running her mouth, like just yelling at me. And I say, well, yeah, because I only cancel when, and then she interrupts me and says, excuse me. Sorry, my voice is going out, so I sounded like a boy going through puberty. She said, excuse me, you need to shut up. What did you just say to me? I didn't say that, but I was thinking it. And if my eyes could do the little cartoonish sounding blink, it would go blink, 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 blink. Okay, I know that was lame. But seriously, I was like, is this really happening right now? Like, seriously? Like, I mean, what is the deal? Who am I speaking with, you know? So Jill proceeds, and then she says, you were called numerous times yesterday, and so is your mother. She was like, you're the ones that didn't answer, and you're the one canceling again. And I said, you know what? I'm only canceling because no one called me. I said, I have proof. She said, no, you don't. I said, oh, okay, whatever. And thank you for interrupting my video with your butt. Love you, Ninja. Anyways, so I'm just like, look, it's kind of odd that two different people did not get phone calls. But yet, you're the one telling the truth. But we have two people with the same complaint. At least two people that we know of. So, what's up, honey? What's good? So, anyways, I proceed to tell her the only reason I've ever canceled is because 2 other times this has happened to me. And that's just to me. They've did this to my husband numerous times. I can't even begin to count all the times. One day, he didn't even think they were showing up. So he slept late, and we were going to take him later on in the car. Then suddenly somebody's honking outside. We hear, you ready? And I'm like, no, y'all didn't call. And they didn't lie. It's like, well, we're here. And it's just like, well, I'm queer. I mean, what do you want me to say? So,
what you gotta say.
yeah, so this woman is like, well, let me tell you something. If you try to set up any rides in the future with us, I will return that order back every time because you were banned. Now, I never yelled at this woman. I never said anything rude because she didn't give me a chance. All I ever got to say was the reason why I had canceled and that no one had called me. Okay. And now she's banning me? Because the woman's scared because I have proof that no one called me, and so does my mother. Okay? So she starts yelling at me. I don't even remember what she's saying at this point, and telling me I'm banned and all that crap, and I just finally lost it. I was like, why not just be honest at this point? What have you got to lose, Amy? Because you just got banned. She can't do nothing else worse to you. So I said, you know what? That's good. That's great, Jill. Because guess what? I said, you guys are the most unprofessional company I have ever had to deal with in my life. And she literally said, wait for this, guys. Just wait for what her response was. Take a breath. Put a piece of popcorn in your mouth. Take a sip of your soda, your tea. Take a sip of your tea, honeys. Because this woman, who sounds older than me, should be mature woman and professional, then says to me, "No, we're not. You're unprofessional." Sorry. And I'm going, in my head, I'm thinking, what? Who? What? I don't work for you. I'm a customer. Why is it I gotta be professional? And I was being courteous the whole time, you know, but I didn't know how to be like professional. Like, what was I supposed to say? Certain words that you say in business meetings, like, "I adjourned this meeting. I am now recording down the time. I am the treasurer of this meeting." I don't know. It's 4-H stuff. That's all I know. It's 4-H words. Is just fill in the blanks, okay? And I'm just like, so anyways, after she says that to me, I just went, "Oh my God, bye." And I hung up. And I laughed because I was like, did she really just say this kind of stuff to me? I mean, it just tripped me out. Like, I was just like, oh my God. Oh my God. You know? And I immediately got on Facebook and on Snapchat, and I blasted them. Not with cuss words or nothing like that. I didn't have to, because the truth was good enough. Plain and simple truth. Bam, here you go. And I used the hashtag MedRide, and I also used the hashtag of my insurance company's name, so that way maybe they'll notice it and maybe they'll investigate. Because let me tell you, 98% of the drivers I have dealt with in that company drive like dangerous old 99-year-old people that should not be behind the wheel. Now, if you're a 99-year-old person and you drive good, good on you. But you know what I mean, though. I'm not trying to stereotype. I'm just trying to say, like, if you blind and you deaf and you crippled and you can't move and your reaction time is slowed down, you don't be driving. And literally, that's the drivers she has, this woman has for this company, at least in this area. And I was so glad when Joe, the good driver, had been picking us up for the past few months. We haven't had to deal with anybody else. He's been great. He's so nice. My mom kind of had a little crush on him too, and I think he might have been crushing on her a little bit. But he was always professional, though. You know, I mean, like, we would talk and stuff when there was nobody else on, you know, and like he'd talk about his life, and you know, I mean, he was just really nice. And I think that maybe he probably knows that that business isn't the best either. I don't know. He never said anything because he's professional. But the bitch on the phone, she is not professional. And whoever that woman is that was supposed to call us and supposed to pick us up is not professional either. And she's a lying bitch. If she is the one that's lying. Because maybe she didn't call. And maybe she had an emergency. And maybe the dispatch didn't cover her phone calls and her shift properly. And they're trying to cover their asses. But here's the thing. My insurance company pays them every time I use them. And they have left me stranded for hours before. They have not even picked up my husband before. They've left him stranded numerous times. Because they don't do it right. Like, they'll say they don't have a driver in the area, but when they do, and they just send the drivers all over the place going back and forth, instead of having a driver for this particular area and a driver for this particular, or something. There's a better way of doing it the way they do it. And then there's a much better way of treating your customers the way you treat them. You treat them with respect, and you don't lie to them, and you don't try to cover your ass because you're afraid you're going to get in trouble. Because, honey, let me tell you what. I shed light in the darkness, and I found out the truth real damn quick, and I'm exposing your lies, and I'm going to make sure that this company, I mean, not goes down or anything. I don't want it to go down, but I want them to reassess the people they have working at the dispatch, because they're bitches, most of them. I mean, and they told my mom that that woman, Jill, has a screenshot of the times that woman called us. So really? I said, I can screenshot my phone too. But here's the thing, you know, you can delete phone calls out of your phone log. So what I can do, though, I can do one even better. So that way she can't accuse me of deleting the phone calls. I can call my phone company and tell them to give me a printout of all the phone calls from that day, the entire day and night. Hell, make it for the whole month if you want to. I don't care, because I ain't got nothing to hide. And neither does my mom. She needs to get a printout too. We both go to the same phone company. We can call them together. And I'm going to do that. And I'm going to send it in. So, whenever, because I want my ban to be removed, because that was not right. It's not fair that I have to suffer now and miss doctor's appointments because of that woman. Because she wants to lie and she wants to cover her ass. So,